It's Sunday, thus it's only logical that we review a Shockwave. From Transformers Combiner Wars, this is the Legends class Shockwave, a figure that is still seen as being one of the best Legends scale Transformers of all time. An incredible Shockwave, and even though there have been other tiny Shockwaves over the years from Hasbro, there's very few that can ever hope to rival the legacy of this little guy. Let's look at this mini warlord and see why so many people seemed so ecstatic when this little guy came out. The sculpting on this Shockwave is just perfect. For a figure that's barely 4 inches tall, there are so many great details, and many of those are picked out with an excellent paint job, from silver to the translucent plastic you see throughout the figure to that one striking yellow eye. There's very few G1 style Shockwaves that I think really look this nice. Yes, he is a tiny guy, but he is still incredible. He carries a poise unlike most mini Transformers, and I don't know, there's just something about him that just captures the coolness of Shockwave. Articulation is an absolute delight here. You have a ball joint at the head that has so much range. It's crazy the type of emotion you can get out of such a blank face. You have a good hinge right here as well as a ball joint in the shoulder. You have it looks like you should be able to articulate forward. You can't, but you can articulate backwards in the arm there for the transformation. Ball joint in the head, or in the arm rather. Nothing in the waist. Ball joint for the hip, and an upper leg cut, and a deep single knee for transformation, and back and forth at the foot. This Shockwave can get into some poses. Can we? Come on, Shockwave. Crotch first like a champion. Come on, can we do it? Can we do it? Almost. Yes. Oh, come on, baby. For me and the tens of people watching at home. Come on. Shockwave can't quite do a JoJo pose, but he came close. Actually, he looks kind of intimidating like that. Oi, he scares me. A thing that's great about this Shockwave is just how easy it is to get him into a good walking pose. It's kind of hard to find a Transformer with a good mid-step look, and yet, here we are. Speaking of good looks, I just love that head sculpt. That honestly might be my favorite pure G1 head sculpt for Shockwave ever. It has everything I want, and yet there is still a little bit of menace here. It reminds me of Shockwave from IDW more than Shockwave from the G1 cartoon, which, hey, I'm all for. Comparing him to the Legacy Core Class Shockwave, and there's just no contest here for me. This Shockwave's fine, he's fun, but it's nothing compared to this guy. Okay, you versus the guy they tell you not to worry about. That's all I'm saying. Boop. This is the only Legends class Shockwave I need. In fact, get back over here. Put the boots to him. Put the boots to him. Yeah. Put the boots to him, Shockwave. Yeah. Kill him. Get him. Oh no, the ball joints. Kill him if you can. There. We took the arm. And now Shockwave is the prettiest princess at the ball. Yeah. Get your pose going. They have to know what we did here today. Oh yes, the Parliament of Shockwave is coming together nicely. I think it's only fair to say that Alternator Shockblast would be the Prime Minister of this Parliament, but, you know, I think Combiner Wars Shockwave could be, I don't know, maybe the leader of a smaller faction? It doesn't really matter, because at the end of the day, these guys are going to be taking us all over, and they're going to look good while doing it. The more I do these Shockwave videos, the more I kind of want to just do a Shockwave shelf, because I don't know what it is, but now that I'm actually getting more of his figures and like posing them together more often, he just looks the best. He might be my absolute favorite design in Transformers at this point. He's never going to touch my boys Thundercracker or Soundwave or even RC and Cliffjumper in terms of being my favorite Transformer character, but you know what? He might be in the top 5 now. Shockwave, I've always had an affinity for you, but you were going up high in the world, which is ironic because the one that made me realize that you're becoming so big in my heart is your littlest soldier. So Combiner Wars Shockwave has a beautiful robot mode. No big surprises there. My question is, how's that vehicle mode looking? well, it's a good-looking stick.
I joke. You can see that Shockwave turns into something of a space cruiser, very similar to his vehicle mode in Siege, and I actually really like this. It looks like a good battle cruiser. I could see this thing just like showing up above a doomed planet. I even like how there's like this little screen here. It looks like he's targeting something to blast it away. That said, it looks a bit like a gun, doesn't... Oh, it's not a stick, it's a boom boom stick.
That's right, Shockwave turns into a gun that has scaled for combiners, because in the episode Revenge of Bruticus in the G1 cartoon, Bruticus used Shockwave in gun mode to destroy Shockwave's fortress. That's pretty cool. But here's my question, right? Obviously, combiners can hold him. I want to know what shockwaves can hold that shockwave. Prime Shockwave can kinda hold it, it's always at an angle, but can any of his contemporaries hold Shockwave better? Energon Shock Blast can kinda do it, and it helps that his ratcheted shoulders can actually hold the gun up. There's just one problem. It's a very loose grip. Just because of how wide Shockwave is, it's hard to get him past the guns. And yeah, there's nowhere to put him on the monster arm. Alas, even Alternator Shock Blast, my beloved, cannot hold the gun. His fingers are too thick. So, if Sunday Shockwave is going to... Oh! Welp. Rest assured, friends, from this day on until we run out of Shockwaves to review, it will be Sunday Shockwave, and we will have two goals. 1. Can any Shockwave overtake Alternator Shock Blast as being my favorite Shockwave? And now, 2. Can any Shockwave properly hold this Shockwave? These are going to be our two great myth arcs in this horrible... What a dumb idea this is. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're just gonna start doing Shockwaves on Sundays, and you know what? I'm gonna see if they can hold this guy in all those reviews. But, yeah. I like Shockwave.